this one today. It was just a small little update, but this one is really about November's awareness for men's mental health. I know you're thinking, hang on, you're a chick. Yes, I know I'm a chick. I do not need to check my gender. But it still doesn't stop me raising awareness for men's mental health. I try raising awareness for as much as I've had experience with, that I suffer with. Obviously, you know, I suffer with fibromyalgia, and with that, and it's hundreds of symptoms, there's lots that people share, and especially you guys. I know from personal messages that I have men that subscribe or follow or just enjoy listening to my videos. Why do people enjoy listening to me? But they can relate. They don't have fibromyalgia, but people that follow me have anxiety, depression. There's lots of little things that are just one of many to fibro that may be someone's main suffering. And obviously November is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, so I should talk about that quickly in a minute. But I just want to show you just proof for everyone. Thank you everyone who donated. It was incredible. You guys were sensational. And when I was doing the run, the one thing that really kept pushing me on, I was thinking, I've raised all this money and I've raised all this awareness, like I can do this. And it was for every single one of you that had shared my post, that had helped raising awareness, that had donated, even if it was pennies. It still made a huge difference. And when I actually got my certificate through and a letter, which was incredible as well, we actually raised £382.50. There you go, everyone. See? We done that. So I was over the moon, absolutely over the moon to receive that. Like I thought that I had just hit over £300 when actually, all in all, it was nearly £400. So incredible. And it came with an amazing letter from the chairperson of FMA UK, and it was just to say that they were incredibly grateful for the substantial amount of money that we all raised, and not only that, but the amount of awareness that we raised as well. They do not get anything else but the money that we raise for them to go and help people that aren't able to help themselves with fibro. There's at least 2 to 4% of the UK's population that actually has fibro, and that may not sound like a lot, but for us sufferers it's enough. So yeah, thank you again everyone. But following that, again, I decided the other day that it was quite important for me on even personal levels, I think I can say, in regards to men's mental health. Like I say, it's really nice that I know I have gentlemen that suffer with mental health, and find some kind of help through my videos, which is great. But there's also people that are they're not able to come out with it yet and speak openly, but they find comfort in messaging other sufferers such as myself and openly admitting it. Some people haven't even told partners. it's hard to admit if you're a really independent person. Now, obviously, when we look at the whole gender thing from a male and from a female, I think, yes, it's only fair that men should be able to open up. They should be able to speak out, and they shouldn't be thought of any less for doing so. If we can sit there and say, well, if men can do it, women can do it, then if women can speak out openly about mental health and disabilities and illnesses, and describe our struggles, men can do so as well. And do you know, I think it's a really brave move for anybody, male or female, to open up. But I think it's a very brave move. I do think it takes more for a man to be able to come forward and say, I have mental health and disabilities. So I think it is also down to us, as partners, as relatives, as loved ones, as friends, to encourage in a certain way. If we are aware but that person hasn't openly said anything, I think it is down to us to make that person feel secure in their self. It doesn't make you any less strong. I mean, the one thing that I tell my daughter is, even the days I break, I am strong. I am, and I will admit I am strong, because I fight all the days to have good days, which makes me strong, which makes me a fighter. But also on the bad days that I fall, that also makes me strong, because I have to stand up and admit defeat. And so I think that stands for a man. If a man has to stand up and say, look, okay, there's something not quite right, that is strength. It is not weakness. But I think it does have to do a lot with the people around you. Obviously, us as sufferers, we have a part to partake in it. We can't, just because we have a mental health or disability, gives us no right to mistreat or ill-treat others around us. Even if we're having a bad day, we can be in bad moods and things, but it's also about communication with our loved ones to say, look, I'm having a bad day. I mean, in my house, we're having a meh day. We're having a meh day. Even my daughter uses that one. But I think, yeah, it's got a lot of communication to do from us warriors, from us fighters, to say, look, I'm having an off day. I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. It's nothing personal. I'm fighting with myself, because that is what most of it is. But as a fighter, we do have to acknowledge when we are hurting others, because that's not okay. And I do say, you know, I do say that in any illness. I mean, I've had depression, anxiety, panic attacks, obviously with my fibro. Not more so now, because I control it. I know it. I know me. And I want to live a happy, healthy life. So I help myself. And I think that's also a lot, you know, a loss of the thing as well. You've got to feel okay and secure in your environment and safe to do so, to be able to help yourself. No one can help you but you. And so I think it's very key to get that first step correct. And it's not always, that biggest step is not always going to the doctor or seeing a counsellor or starting meds. It's that first main step is admitting, accepting, and wanting to put it right. You know, wanting to put yourself as right can be. And I think that's really important. I can't speak from a guy's point of view. I can speak from a woman's point of view, being on the other side of things. I've had that experience quite a few times. And I guess that's how I've learned both sides, because obviously I've been a person on the inside, being a warrior, being a fighter, having the anxiety, the depression, the illnesses. And then I've also been somebody on the other side, being affected by somebody, by people who suffer with panic attacks, anxiety, depression, mental health. And so I kind of learnt both sides of the page. And so from a woman's point of view, that's why I've said what I've said about, I think it's very important that us on the other side, if we see something isn't right, it's to encourage that person that it's okay, that they have support. Obviously, it's then down to that person whether they take the support and whether they use it in the right way. Unfortunately, there's only so much in any situation that you can do if somebody really doesn't want the help, or is in denial, or is even happy just being in that hole, I guess. Because you do get in a hole and it's hard to climb out, and some people would rather stay in that hole. But unfortunately, if we choose that way, that's when people get hurt that are around you. So they're hard. Mental health and disabilities are very hard for any person, but I do believe it's your surroundings. I think that's my key today, is support and surroundings. At home life, at work, with friends, loved ones, and it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. Everything still stands the same. What's good for one is good for another, and any awareness is good awareness. We could all raise money, but at the end of the day, what's the point in raising money for something people don't know about? And we can't expect people to help us if we don't speak up and explain what's going on. It's the same if you've got tummy ache or something and the doctor says, well, where's the pain? What are the side effects? How are you feeling? Are you eating? Blah, blah. It's the same. Mental health is just the same, but we physically can't see and hear, I'm afraid. So we have to talk out. And there's no shame in it. There really isn't. And any form of speaking out is good. It's a good start, whether it be speaking out and openly saying something, like some people comment on my videos, and sometimes it makes them feel a little bit like I've done it, and you find that when you speak out, especially on forums nowadays, I think it's easier to go to a mutual ground and speak, because obviously you're surrounded by people in the same situation. So I think maybe that's why sometimes it can be easier to, make a comment on, say, like someone not like my video, or on like my Facebook forum. People, with their fibro and that, they talk to me on there. And like I say, I have people with many different disabilities following me, subscribe to me, and from all over the world, which is great. And sometimes I think that also is a bit of relief sometimes, to speak to someone who's not near you, if that makes sense. But it still feels good in here, you know. It doesn't matter where you let it out. If you let it out, it's a start. And it's that brick building. And I think every time you do something like that, you build another brick inside yourself and you make yourself stronger, until one day you have the courage to just stand up and proudly, and you can be proud. Why shouldn't you be proud of who you are? We all have flaws. You know, some people are be proud to walk around with a big scar on their face, and they'll be like, yeah, man, like, look at this. And they're proud of a scar. Our illnesses, our disabilities, are our scars. They're part of us. So we can be proud of them. I am proud of my fibro. I've come really far with my fibro. I have come really far with, like I say, conquering depression, my anxiety, panic attacks. That used to give me heart palpitations, everything. Like there was so much, and I've come so far. So yes, I'm proud of my fibro, and now I make myself proud that I have fibro, because I now do things like this, or raising awareness, raising money. So I turned it into a positive, and I think that's what everyone, you in yourself, not on those scales. I'm not saying like go and run a 10k, but just doing anything that kind of makes you proud of who you are. You can still be a really good person. Nothing changes that. No illness, no disability. And I think that's what a lot of people need to realise nowadays. In some way, shape or form, 1 in 4 of us have or will have a form of mental health or a disability at some point in our life. And when you think of it, that's a lot. I mean, if you go to work and think like a quarter of the people at work will be in a similar situation to you. You know, members of your family, friends. And I think when you look at it like that, 1 in 4 kind of makes you realise you're not alone. And that's how we should look at it. So anyway, I'm going to stop babbling on. I am back, as you can see, ranting on. So yeah, that's it for today, really. I think it was really important for me to kind of just stand up and say, you know, I support raising awareness for men's mental health as much as I do women and disabilities. Obviously give you an update on my fibro. Obviously say I haven't disappeared. I know some of you have contacted me on my Instagram and Facebook, and obviously some of you guys I have been talking to, and you know what's been going on. So but I fingers crossed now. Thank God. I mean, I was, unfortunately, I've been very, very poorly. I constantly in and out of hospital. But it's key. It really is key to pick yourself up and just keep on going. And that's what I'm doing. And Christmas is coming now. So, I mean, come on, I had to come back in time because I have to do a Christmas video. I mean, it's Christmas nearly. Okay, we're just, November. We're in November. But it's coming, and it's coming soon. So, anyway, I'll leave you all with that. And I hope everyone's okay. Please feel free to share, subscribe, like, comment, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. See you soon. Bye.